Hi, in this video I am going to show you that what is the declaration of CSS, selectors in CSS, what is an ID, how to use it, and what is the class in CSS and how to use it. So this video is the fundamentals part 1. In the next video that would be fundamentals part 2. So in these two parts I would cover the fundamentals of CSS. So now let's begin. So first part is declaration. So here is the image that is showing you the declaration of CSS wherever you are using. So this thing will be represented as a selector which will select an element on the basis of which you would apply the particular property of the CSS to a specific element of the tag. This is the property name and this is the value of that property, and the whole thing is considered as the declaration. One thing you have to keep in mind that CSS stands for cascading style sheets. Declaration always ends with semicolon. So here you have seen that after the property value we have semicolon. Why we have semicolon? Because if you want to apply another property to this particular selector, then you will go to the next line. So in order to separate both these properties you have needed a semicolon. Then after, declaration blocks are surrounded by curly braces. Right now you have seen that after the selector you have a curly brace and this is curly brace closed. So inside of it you would able to write all those properties that you want to apply on the specific element of the HTML. So the next thing is element selectors. Element selector selects elements. How? So let me show you through an example. So I have this HTML document. So actually I am using a Notepad++ for the CSS training program. So I have this code and this is HTML open, HTML close. This is simple structure of HTML actually. I have already discussed in my HTML training series. So here is head tag open, head tag close, title, inside of which I have written fundamentals, and then style tag open and close, then body tag, and here body tag close, and I have heading 1, paragraph 1, paragraph 2 and heading 3. So now if you will see the output of all these things, you will find this particular output. So here is the output: heading 1, paragraph 2 and heading 3. So let us do some changes by using CSS. So first thing was selectors, that how we select the elements. So here for example we have heading 1, and if we want to apply red color to this particular H1, then we would consider H1 as a selector. So another possibility is you can give it ID, or maybe you can give it the class. So here we should write color red. So now if you will see the output, you will find the red color of the heading 1. So this is called as selector, that on the basis of a specific thing you would able to apply the CSS on that element. So I have used the selector as the tag itself, and if you want to use ID you can also give it the ID, or maybe you can give it the class. So in the next example, so now we are going to move towards the ID and class. So here I have showed you the selector. Now ID selector. So how ID selector works? So for example I want to apply the background color yellow to these two paragraphs. So what I will use is I will use the P tag as a selector itself, and I am giving the background yellow. So if you will see the output, you will find out that the paragraph's background is yellow now. And now one thing I like to do is I also want to give the border to the second paragraph. So how it is possible? For example, I am giving the paragraph here, border here. So if you will see on the output screen, you will find out that both the paragraph has the border, but I have not needed in the border in paragraph 2. So how I could restrict? So here I have needed ID, right? So I will give the ID to paragraph 2, ID equal to para 2, and now I can select, I delete here from here the specific property, and now I will give the ID. So how to use the ID? You have needed a hash, and then after you should write ID. So ID name actually. So the ID name is para2, and now you should apply the specific property, which was border 2 pixel solid and black. So now if you will see on the output screen, now the paragraph 2 has the border, but paragraph 1 has not the border. So how we restricted the paragraph 1? By using the ID. So ID is always unique. So for example, you have applied the ID here, you cannot apply the same ID name actually to the other elements. So the next thing is, now you got the point of ID, that where actually we have needed the ID to represent a specific element. If you want to implement, if you want to give a specific style or maybe CSS to an element, if you have the same tags but you want to differentiate both of them, so at that time you have needed ID. On the basis of ID you would able to differentiate both of them. So the next thing is, for example, you want to give h1 tag, p1, p and h3, all of them the text center. So how it would be possible? For example, you want to give h1 tag, p tag and h3 tag, all of them text align center, text align center. So if you will see on the output screen, all of them has been centered now. So this is called as tags grouping, right? Selectors grouping. So we have given a common property to all these elements, h1 p. P is common actually. If we have used p here, then it means this p and this p as well. So third was h3, so h3 also gone to the center. So this thing we can also do by using a class. So for example, if we would have the class name here, some class, for example a common, I have named the class common, and I am also giving here one thing you have to keep in mind, that a paragraph can have ID as well as class, right? So now for example, I remove this particular CSS. If you will see right now the output, this is simple, but if you will give the CSS, so how you can use the class? We have the dot and then class name common, and then you should apply the specific property, so which was text align center. So now if you will see on the output screen, you will find out that same thing has been happened now. So you can say that if you have needed the same thing to all the tags, then you can give them a common class name. Means this is the name, this is not the specific that you should also use the common as a name. You can use anything. For example, I can also use C1, right? So this is also the name, but you should give C1 to all of them. Means you should give C1 here, you should give C1 here and here. So if you have used here, then you should also change here. So now the same output is, oh sorry, I have missed colon here, so equal to here. So now if you will see, things are going well. So this was about the CSS class, that how you can use it. So one more thing is CSS comment. For example, you don't want right now this text align center, right? So what you will do is for forward slash star and for star and forward slash. So if you will see on the output screen, you will find out that this particular text is not considered right now. Why? Because this is inside the comment tag, comment. So comment means this would not be interpreted, this would not be you can say that compiled, not implemented. Why? Because this is only for readability. You can see that this was used, and right now this is not applicable because this is inside the comment. So this can be multi-line comment and this can be single line comment, right? So you can use this specific syntax to multi-line as well as single line. So now we are end up with all the things which I was trying to discuss with you. So this was about the CSS, that how you can apply to some elements of HTML. One thing you have to keep in mind, that element and tag is similar, right? If I am using the element and sometime tag, then you can say that that is same thing. So hope you enjoyed the video, and in the next video I am also going to discuss about inline, internal and external CSS, which is also an important topic of CSS. And then after I will also do some advanced concepts from where you can learn better, right? So you have to be consistent with all those videos. So you have to subscribe this channel if not subscribed up till now, and you have to like this video, share with the other people, and that's it. Thank you. Thanks for watching.